Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of the Coach Shinnick Show. I'm Will Kennedy, along with head coach Pete Shinnick from the University of West Florida. We are standing on the surface of Penn Air Field where, as we tape, we have just finished up the first ever home game on the campus of the University of West Florida, a 63-14 victory. Your Argos, coach, on top of Southwest Baptist. Let's just first talk about the atmosphere, the day, and what it was like for you as a coach who built this program in many ways from the ground up to see what we saw here.
Yeah, extremely exciting, and really just couldn't be happier for the university and just all the hard work that's gone into this game. I think our game management crew did an amazing job getting this thing set up. Garen and his crew, really fantastic. But probably the most exciting aspect of this, and it really kind of built from there, we do our pregame meal at 2 o'clock, okay, 2:15. And we come out of the Darrell Gooden Center and we go up and we go across campus, and there's hundreds of people on campus already at 2:15 in the afternoon. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is something,
cool.
We've never experienced that. Never seen anything like it. So to be able to do that and then just to build, come back an hour later after eating, there's people already getting in line, and the crowds are growing. And then to see this many people around Penn Air Field, just unbelievable.
A testament to Judy Benz, who I saw, former president, before the game, and to Dave Scott and yourself and countless others. Darrell Gooden Center here, Penn Air Field here, we thank them all. What a fantastic atmosphere it was. You guys come out, the place is filled with blue and green, and Southwest Baptist takes the football and just ding, ding, ding down the field. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This isn't supposed to happen.
It's not what we had planned. It's not what we had scripted. But I think it's a great lesson. Anybody can score. Anybody can do great things if not everybody's on the same page on defense. And really, that first drive, I just felt like we were flat. Our guys didn't handle that as well as I'd like them to. Credit to Coach Doolin and his staff, because from that point on, it kicked in. And really love how they played from that point on. I think they got a couple more first downs maybe in the second half. But to see that, I think it's a great wake-up call. Hey, look, we got to be at our best. We say our best can beat anybody, but we say our average will get us beat. And I think that's what you saw on that first drive with our defense.
Let's dive into the first half a little bit. So after they score, your offense just comes out. No pressure, no anything. They don't look nervous. They just go right down the field. And it really was in the first half. Your quarterback, obviously, Austin Reed, but the Rodney coach, Shamari Mason show, those two really stood out.
Yeah, really, really happy for Rodney, because what happened was, we run out there and they're like, 17's over here, so they're looking for David Durden. And it's like, all right, you want to do that? Rodney Coates or Karan Ashley is going to get open. I mean, it's just, there's just too many weapons out there. And then I loved the fact that Austin threw to our running back a couple of times, had some checkdowns. That was huge. Really gave us, I think, putting pressure on people in different ways. You get the ball in Shamari Mason's hands, any way you get it there, he's going to do something dynamic with it.
You guys were up 42-7 at the half, and it really was just every time you got the football. I mean, Steve Dawson didn't really get any work in because you're driving down the field and scoring, and you're doing long drives, you're doing short field drives. The defense held a couple of times. You're able to force a special teams turnover, but capitalize on all that.
Yeah, and really our comments to the offense was, look, we're going to go. We're just going to go. We're going to play. And you guys just got to respond and make it work. And so I think, from the opening drive until really our one whole unit stayed in until the first drive of the second half. But in the first half, it was go, go, go. I think we missed on 1 third down conversion, but then they had a penalty, got the ball right back and went down and scored. And again, we just said, we've got to be at our best and continue to grow.
Shamari Mason looks like he's all the way back.
Yeah.
Physically.
Yeah.
And he can do some things that, we got a bunch of good running backs, but he can do some things that.
Well, he really, I think he's back and plus some, because I think he's in better shape than he was as a true freshman. He's stronger than he was, and he sees things extremely well now. And so, he's an explosive play waiting to happen. And then he is not afraid to stick it up in there for the 3-yard gain, 4-yard gain when there's pressure coming from the outside.
We'll take a quick break here on the show. 42-7 was the score at half. We'll dive into the second half a little bit, talk about a record-breaking performance right here on this field by a guy who's been around here a little bit of time, and much more to talk on this historic day right here on the Coach Shinnick Show.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
What does Argo spirit look like? Is it finding the perfect Argo outfit to show your team pride? Is it giving back while getting your pre-game grub? Or is it connecting with your community in the perfect spot? At Penn Air Federal Credit Union, it's being a proud sponsor of UWF Education, the Alumni Association, athletics, Penn Air Field, and having a spirit of communerosity. Learn more at pennair.org/about us.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby. You got me falling hard for you. It's you. I felt this way before. You know it's you.
For those who measure success by the worn tread on their tires, and those who strengthen their body and mind and drift through their weekends over nature's current. Andrews Institute, for those who move.
Look at that. That's called a takes two hands burger. Fresh 100% beef stacked high with melted cheese, hand-chopped veggies, and everything else you could possibly ask for. Yep, that's your Whataburger, made exactly the way you want it. Because sometimes, you gotta take matters into your own hands. What a burger, just like you like it.
Welcome back in here to the Coach Shinnick Show. Will Kennedy and Coach Pete Shinnick, and we talked about the first half a little bit, and you mentioned that 42-7, you're up at the break, and you went in and talked to your team about, let's finish this thing. Let's keep the momentum. You bring out the starters, if you will, kind of your first line guys, and they pick right up where they left off, and they're driving down the field. You know, Austin Reed, I know, he can put up some big numbers, doesn't even have to play the whole game. He looked really sharp. He must have heard me talking about the 53% completion percentage, because I think he completed like 80%.
Yeah. No, he came out and we really challenged him. We felt like you're going to get a bunch of different looks. You're going to get people dropping in zones in different areas. I thought one of the things that Southwest Baptist did a great job with was their coverage, disguising it, moving in different directions. Had to hit the back a couple times. He did that. I think he was 20 of 26, 4 touchdowns. So he just picked up right where he left off, and really excited about his growth and what he was able to do.
The running game in this game, 195 yards total, and you know, obviously as the score gets increases here and keeps counting up in the second half, you're able to get a bunch of different guys in there, but different styles, whether it's Hargrove, whether it's Seth Johnson, who came in and I thought really ran hard and tough, but showed his quickness too. But Anthony Johnson didn't get a ton of carries, but they were all, as they usually are, important carries near the goal line. He gets 3 touchdowns in this game and breaks the record, is now the all-time leading rushing touchdown here at the University of West Florida.
Couldn't be happier for Anthony, and really he has turned into kind of our specialty back. We're extremely confident that if it's 3rd and 2 or below, or we're inside the 3-yard line, that he's going to score. And I mean, he has just held up to that. And really trying to save him, he took a bunch of hits to, banging. It's like, okay, let's see if we can get him in certain situations. But to score 3 touchdowns, all-time leading scorer in the history of the school. Great night for Anthony Johnson Jr.
You get Austin Reed out, you put a Wyatt Egan in, and he looks great on his first possession, looked pretty good in general. I know he did have an interception, but was able to move the team and make some of the same throws. It didn't look like he really had to change what you were calling.
No, really didn't. And it exact same thought process. Really was trying to play the clock as much as we could there, but we wanted to see what he could do and how he could do it. He led us on some touchdown drives and put us where we needed to be, so very pleased with that. Disappointed in the interception. I think he'd love to have that ball back because because my man's running down the sideline open. And but other than that, very pleased with what took place.
You were able to play so many guys, and I know against McNeese you had to play everybody on defense because guys were dropping out left and right. But again tonight, guys get in, they perform on both sides of the football, they're looking for their opportunities. And I thought that was exceptionally special because you had family members here and you had their peers, in the student body. We could hear them on our crowd mic for the TV broadcast yelling for certain people, and really a lot of good performances, and to know you have that depth.
Well, it's very exciting, and I think our 2 deep plays very well and does a lot of really good things. So excited about what we were able to get done with our 2 deep. But then to be able to play 3s be able to play some guys that some guys that played at the end. They were scout team guys during the week. They were doing Southwest Baptist offense and Southwest Baptist defense. So really excited for that. I think, Will, it's the most people we've ever dressed in a home game, and I think it's the most people we've played in a home game. So an exciting night. Go along with the first of historic, all those type of things. A lot of neat things took place.
We may have to do this again at some point. 63-14 was the final. Big win over Southwest Baptist. 2-0 for the #1 team in the country. Coach is going to join us a little later in the program to break down a long road trip. We're going to Texas, out to Commerce for a rematch of that 2017 championship game. Coming up next here on the program, Maya Clark breaks down some of the other sports going on in the fall, but we'll be back a little later on the Coach Shinnick Show.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
What does Argos spirit look like? Is it finding the perfect Argo outfit to show your team pride? Is it giving back while getting your pre-game grub? Or is it connecting with your community in the perfect spot? At Penn Air Federal Credit Union, it's being a proud sponsor of UWF Education, the Alumni Association, athletics, Penn Air Field, and having a spirit of communerosity. Learn more at pennair.org/about us.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. It's new, I felt this way before, you know it's true.
For those who measure success by the worn tread on their tires, and those who strengthen their body and mind and drift through their weekends over nature's current. Andrews Institute, for those who move.
Welcome back to the Coach Shinnick Show. It was another great week to be an Argonaut as our teams went 7-1 over the weekend. Women's soccer went 2-0 in South Florida and improved to a 4-0 on the year, with back-to-back shutouts against St. Leo and Florida Southern. Midfielder Blair Cohen scored each of UWF's 2 goals over the weekend, and we'll be talking to her shortly. For now, we've caught up with head coach Joe Bartlinski and junior Bree Pope to recap the weekend.
We get everybody's best shot, and so no matter who you're playing, they're coming after us. They circle us on their calendars. All 4 teams that we just played in the last 2 weekends came to do well against West Florida. I know we're going to get the best out of our 2 conference opponents like we will the rest, and so we have to be prepared. And these are all new players, like I said, and so their mentality better be that they're prepared. History doesn't matter. It's that next game, that next play that you have to do well at, and that's the challenge you're going to have Friday night. The defense pulling 2 shutouts on the road is fantastic. It was, Charlene made some great saves, but our defense begins up top, with the pressing that we have from Peyton, 8, 9, and 10, Peyton, Bree and Blair, and then you've got Destiny Hammock and others. So that's where we get the shutouts, not just in the back and the goalkeeping and the defense. It's a new team. I mean, we've got only 6 players that have ever played in a real game here, and the rest are new people. And so just getting them together, that's what that road trip was about, is getting them on the same page and getting the chemistry going. But for them to do what they've done so far, the short term has been very good. But we've got a long season still ahead of us. But again, coming home is going to be fantastic. Playing, under the lights on a Friday night and then a Sunday will be challenging as well, but it'll be great to be back home.
Like the new system of playing, it's kind of tough. It's kind of hard to learn, but our team chemistry is really well, and it's only getting better as we travel away games and we each learn about each other. So I think as we go on, it's just going to get better.
Men's soccer picked up a 4-1 victory over Rollins on Friday afternoon. Keegan Anselin scored twice, and the Argos got goals from Kynan Dos Santos and Cy Bontano. Here's head coach Bill Elliott.
Well, it was great. Rollins is a very tough place to play. They got a very talented team, and they were great in possession against us. And so, but we were disciplined, and we did what was needed on the night and got our win. And now we can turn our attention to conference play. Preparing for this weekend, Alabama, Huntsville, and West Alabama is a really difficult task because their styles of play are completely different. And, of course, playing on a Friday night versus playing on a Sunday afternoon is completely different. We just focus one game at a time, what the next opponent that's coming up, and hope that if we put in a good, hard-working, disciplined performance, that it'll give us a chance to win.
Volleyball went 3-1 at the UND Invitational last weekend, led again by Maddie Cooler. UWF picked up wins over Wheeling, Ashland, and Cedarville, and head coach Melissa Walter wraps up their weekend for us here.
Yeah, it was our first road trip, and there's always certain challenges with that, so that's why we wanted to go ahead and get on the road. And Indianapolis is, they're a very good program, and I knew they would pull great teams. So, yeah, it was different. It was definitely different, and I think I was reminded of the challenges of being on the road versus being at home. So I think our players went in ultra focused, and players that didn't play very well on Friday night turned right around and played extremely well on Saturday morning, which takes a lot of maturity. Yeah, all in all, it was a good weekend. We learned a lot of good lessons.
And cross country was back in action at the UNA Invitational on Friday, where both the men and women had 6th place finishes. The top runner of the day was Zach Benton, who finished 5th overall and came within 2 seconds of UWF's record in the 8K. We also had 5 Gulf South Conference award winners this week. Rodney Coates was the Football Offensive Player of the Week. Maddie Cooler was the Volleyball Offensive Player of the Week. Keegan Anslin was the Men's Soccer Offensive Player of the Week. Charlene Favier was the Women's Soccer Defender of the Week. And Zach Benton is the Men's Cross Country Freshman of the Week. For the latest updates on UWF athletics, visit goargos.com. Up next, we'll talk to Blair Cohen.
What does Argo spirit look like? Is it finding the perfect Argo outfit to show your team pride? Is it giving back while getting your pre-game grub? Or is it connecting with your community in the perfect spot? At Penn Air Federal Credit Union, it's being a proud sponsor of UWF Education, the Alumni Association, athletics, Penn Air Field, and having a spirit of communerosity. Learn more at pennair.org/aboutus.
Look at that. That's called a takes 2 hands burger. Fresh 100% beef stacked high with melted cheese, hand-chopped veggies, and everything else you could possibly ask for. Yep, that's your Whataburger, made exactly the way you want it. Because sometimes, you gotta take matters into your own hands. What a burger, just like you like it.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
For those who measure success by the worn tread on their tires, and those who strengthen their body and mind and drift through their weekends over nature's current. Andrews Institute, for those who move.
I'm here with Blair Cohen from Women's Soccer. Blair, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you transferred in from Ohio State this year. What was your decision-making process like to come down here?
It was a little hard. I'm a big family person, but the coaches seemed really supportive, and I really liked the beach coming down here. It was just a hard decision based off my family.
Okay, so you've been here for a while now, and you've played in 4 games, and you have scored in every single game. What has it been like to come out and make such a big impact so soon?
I wouldn't be able to do it without my teammates. I mean, Bree has gotten 2 PKs for us, the free kick, and then the other goal was just caught the keeper out. But it's been really fun having an impact. I like my role, and I'm excited to see where the season takes us.
So coming down, what are you most looking forward to as the season goes on? This week you guys will start conference play, so what are you most looking forward to?
I'm most excited to see how we continue to grow as a team.
I know only 3 players on our team have played together before, so each game I feel like we're getting better and we're getting to know each other better. These away trips really helped us. I feel like we got to know each other better, and then one thing that I know about our team is we can fight.
And so when you're not playing soccer, what do you like to do?
When I'm not playing soccer, everyone on the team will joke about it, but I love it to just be home with my dog.
And what kind of dog do you have?
I have a golden doodle. His name is Kobe.
So what kind of led you to start playing soccer?
Actually, my mom signed me up for soccer when I was 6 years old because I had too much energy and my friend was doing it. I never thought that I would love it as much as I do.
So after this year, what do you want to do?
I want to keep playing. Yeah, as long as I can. Because of COVID, so I'll have another year, so I plan to stick around.
And so how do you feel like this COVID year, which gave you another chance, another year of eligibility, how do you feel like it changed your perspective coming into this season?
So I played 3 seasons at Ohio State, and then they gave us the COVID year, so I looked at it as I've done half my career, I have half my college career left, and I was like, I want to go 2 more years to play, and I really liked the coaching staff, and now the girls are just amazing here too.
And so what advice would you give to anyone who's maybe looking to play soccer at the next level, or maybe they're just getting into it?
If you love it, go for it. Don't think of it as a job. Do it to have fun.
Well, Blair, thank you so much. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
Realm Apartments is a proud sponsor of the Argonauts. Realm is opening less than a mile from campus and is now leasing brand new apartments and townhouses for a fall 2021 opening. These apartments come fully furnished and rates include water, sewer, cable, Wi-Fi, and trash. Check out realmlife.com for more information. Go Argos!
What does Argo spirit look like? Is it finding the perfect Argo outfit to show your team pride? Is it giving back while getting your pre-game grub? Or is it connecting with your community in the perfect spot? At Penn Air Federal Credit Union, it's being a proud sponsor of UWF Education, the Alumni Association, athletics, Penn Air Field, and having a spirit of communerosity. Learn more at pennair.org/aboutus.
For those who measure success by the worn tread on their tires, and those who strengthen their body and mind and drift through their weekends over nature's current. Andrews Institute, for those who move.
Welcome back into the Coach Shinnick Show. Coach Shinnick is back to join us now, looking ahead to a road trip. Second one of the season, and again, another big challenge. We're going on the road to face Texas A&M Commerce, a team that you know from 2017, back in the national championship game. That was a little while ago. They're a little bit different group.
Yeah, they are. New coaching staff, and really I think there's a handful of players, just like on our roster, that were there in that game in 2017. But for the most part, really a brand new team, and really a very dynamic team on both sides of the ball. I mean, very big and thick on defense. Reminds us a lot of what we saw against McNeese. And then offensively, they're trying to find a way at quarterback, but they're still explosive at their skill positions.
They are much like us in the fact that it's tough for them to schedule early in the year. So they've tested themselves. They played Colorado State Pueblo. I think that was a top 10 matchup, and they snuck out a win in that one. And then had another familiar foe, Midwestern, last week. Blew a big lead in that game and maybe dropping the rankings a little bit, but they were they're a top 10 caliber type team. What do you expect from the Lions?
Yeah, I expect a great game, and I know obviously their loss to Midwestern, which is a conference foe, beating us could really right their ship and get them right back to where they wanted to be. They played phenomenally well on defense against CSU Pueblo, really shutting down one of the better Division II programs in the last 10 years as far as wins and offenses. So, I mean, we feel like, we're going to get tested again. We knew when we set this schedule up that it would be, what I think is probably the most difficult D2 schedule. With that being said, here we are, going into week 3, knowing that we got a long road trip, but knowing that we're going to have to play at our best.
Yeah, we're seeing, some of the other Gulf South Conference teams pop up into that top 25 as well. As you look at Commerce, how do you tell some of your guys after 2 games when you've played just about everybody, hey, there may come a moment where not everybody gets in?
Well, yeah, and it's really for us, it's, look, we take this thing week by week, and I think, the McNeese game was an amazing job by our defensive staff to rotate, play guys through. Offensively, we only had about 54 plays at McNeese. So, we played our 5 offensive linemen. We played 2 tight ends, 1 quarterback, so defensively we ended up playing, I think, all 30 that traveled. So, every game's different. Our guys understand that. Every game requires just a different level of, communication between us and our players, as well as preparation. And then how it plays out, you really don't know until you get started.
Just looking at the Lions, and you mentioned their offense, and they are playing some quarterbacks that they didn't maybe think they would have to play. They have a guy, Miklo Smalls, who's All-American caliber guy. He's out and probably won't see him. But they're going to do a couple different things and throw some different guys at you.
They really are, and really, I don't know that their offense has missed a beat. I'm sure their staff feels a little differently, but really been very productive with the 3 young men that they've played there, and really put, I think, their offense in a very good situation. They didn't score many points week 1, but then they came back and scored 30 and really had the game in hand against Midwestern. Midwestern just made a great run at the end to eke out a victory, so to speak.
This is one where you're going to play 6 o'clock on a Saturday night. It's a long road trip out there to East Texas, but you guys have got this down to a science at this point.
No, we've done this type of trip, similar when we went to Midwestern. We're actually going to leave after practice on Thursday, so kind of cut the trip short a little bit for the Friday travel, and then get into the hotel and do like we've done. And I think our guys, obviously, we've been on the road a lot. I think 8 of the last 10 games we've played or something like that have been on the road. So we understand the routine. We know what it looks like. Now it's just getting this group with a bunch of new guys to understand all the nuances of what that looks like.
That's crazy. Week 3 feels like a playoff game kind of atmosphere to go, as you mentioned, to go on the road and take on a team like this. 6 o'clock kick, as we said. It'll be a lot of travel, and we'll have the game for you on ESPN Pensacola on the radio. Pregame show starts at 5:30, and check out GoArgos.com. Hopefully there'll be a link people can watch through the Lone Star Conference if that's available for you. GoArgos.com, always the place to get the latest on the football team, all our other athletics as well, and the Argo Armada app. You can keep up with social media, keep up with rosters, all the stuff going on. We'll look forward to the game on Saturday, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Coach Shinnick Show.